Good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. It is Saturday, February 19th. We are playing Farm Sim 19 on Oakfield Farming Agency Edition, and we are down at the BGA. I honestly can't remember if I kept up with shipping silage out last episode, but we still have a ton of it to move, so let's get that started. As you can see, top left, I've got a couple of tractors working. So since last week, I have picked up all the potatoes that were dug up, and now we can see the bits where the worker missed. I've actually got the worker working that field partially, but really it's gonna need some supervision. But I figure we can get this truck back to the farm, get it loaded, and with the belts it's gonna take a while. Plus the silage bunker is full, so that's gonna take about an hour to empty. And no traffic, go. The traffic. Loads of room. Carefully avoiding the street signs, which I believe along here are hard objects and would cause us to grind to a halt. Okay, we're going to beat him too. Still got half a tank of diesel in this, so we're good for probably the rest of the day. That's the thing, this thing doesn't have to travel far or often. And finding this turn a little tricky in the semi. Usually on the way out, I'll clip that inside corner. Okay. Well, the bunker is definitely looking a lot more empty than it used to be. Turn the engine off. Okay, turn the engine on, move it forwards. I'm quite happy actually. This bunker looks to be getting very, very empty. And that's pretty much close enough to there for now. Let's extend that out a lot and possibly lower it so I can judge the truck position a bit better. Okay, I think I want to push that button to unload it and get out, jump in the thing at the front and push that button. No, it's R to turn it on. No, not 5. 5 is unfold. That button to turn. There we go. Turn that one on. And we'll get in the truck just to make sure. But yeah, that's filling up. Goody goody. Okay, so I am ploughing this field up here. Now ordinarily, oh, that's why you didn't make it around. Okay. I usually plough with 2 tractors. We have one of the big ones running the Lemkin, and then this guy running the small plough, because it's easier to get into the edges where the Lemkin just doesn't go. So there will be some tidy up in this field once he's done. You are completely failing to do what I said you to do. So I think I'm going to do the bottom here first. So as you can see, lots of stretches of unharvested potatoes on the ground. We'll go down here. So much as this is actually a fairly realistic setup for potato farming, I'm finding it very annoying. Partly, I mean, there's a couple of reasons. Helper J has finished. I'm going to guess that's the case again. But partly because this thing has no brakes, so if you leave it on a field and detach, it can run away. And while you can set it off on a worker and then basically come back later and do the pickup, and the pickup's a manual thing, much like baling is. Don't understand why that's not picking up potatoes in those sections. But it is kind of just a problem here now. Why are we not picking up potatoes here? And this is, yeah, it would be a lot easier with the self-propelled harvester. I may end up just saying I'm done with all of this and just leaving it be. We got, I think we did, most of this plot got done, so that's good. There's a bit there behind the withered crop, so the worker couldn't get past the withered crop, was the problem. We'll put this here. We are heading at 157. Although that looks like pretty much the line we're supposed to be on. And you think you've finished your task, do you? Okay. And it's not, well, it kind of is, but isn't. Okay. Worker's working. So it looks like there's some bugged areas where we're just not planting potatoes. I may just skip planting potatoes from now on. We've used this stuff now. And it's a good low horsepower piece of kit, so we don't have to run big tractors on it. But it's so annoying. I think possibly, where is it, the in-game? This thing would probably work better, but this is 150,000 for a harvester, whereas the picking up device, which is this one, is 88.5, only uses 90 horsepower. This needs 110, so it's not bad. It's an entry-level harvester, but it digs up the potatoes from the ground and sticks them in the back. And it has a bigger capacity, so that's also a good thing. And he's turned around again, so I think what I'm going to end up doing is, once he's finished this row, we'll switch him back to whatever it is. You are full. Okay. You're still working. You're not. Oh. Okay, I'm going to leave him for now. We'll go back to this guy and we'll take over. I may sell this potato kit. The voucher we have could haul the other potato harvester, the expensive, the more expensive one. Where is it? I skipped straight past it, didn't I? There it is. So this is, yeah, I mean this could cope pulling the bigger harvester. So maybe I'll do that. But for right now, pull that out the way, and I'm going to sell it straight off. I'm done with this harvest. That's what we're hauling around. Sell, yes. Oh, okay. Exit. Garage. Yes. Okay. Also not sure how much of this we're going to fill. I think it's empty. Or close. 682 potatoes. Actually, that could fill up very quickly. I must admit, I do like how this follows the tractor. If you watch here how I turn in right on that row, but then the picker up thing, which is just to the right side of the auger or the belt, just follows straight into that row. It's quite agile, so I've liked that aspect of it. Managed to pick up all of the potatoes in the grass outside of the field using that feature. How are we doing? 2500. I might need to get another tractor out here with the tipper. Pretty sure we won't have another 30,000 litres. But for next year, I don't know, should we go for potatoes and buy that bigger, more expensive harvester? Or just shelve potatoes for now? I mean, we don't use them, we just sell them. And maybe plant 2 fields of sugar beets, because we have all the sugar beet harvesting equipment too. Okay, that's done. And yeah, we are nearly full. Or not do potatoes until I've got spare 500,000 that I don't want to buy a field with, and buy the big giant potato harvester.
You got 2 messages.
Oh, that's sad. Well, sorry to hear that, but yeah, not quite the same. I had to bury a fish yesterday. Unfortunately, our fishes are breeding faster than they're dying at the moment, so the fish tank is not bare. I know my sister had major problems. Her fish kept dying except for one, and it just lived forever, and she was getting really annoyed because it's sort of like, I'm done with fish tanks, but I've still got this fish alive. But, and I think she got that for her boy when he was tiny, and he was getting quite on in years. Oh, we're full. Before that left us. Okay, let's go find the class. And you're still doing your thing, you're not. Where's the class axiom? Let's go fetch our truck. Could also use with another one of those weights. Currently the case is out there without a weight, so we have and being on a plough, it kind of needs a weight. I had to put that on the Valtra so that it could use the potato harvesting equipment, because that is a little bit heavy. Okay, that was the other thing we did. I think one episode recently we ended off starting to crate these up. There are 50 crates there, and it got very laggy towards the end of that session where I was crating them up, but it doesn't seem to be a problem now. They're in existence. It was just I created 30 and it wasn't too bad, and then as I got more than 30 it really started to lag out on me. But I said I'd make 50, so I made 50 and saved frequently, and when I reloaded the game later, no problems, so that's a good thing. Oh, that's good. These are adjacent tabbable vehicles. Okay. Lift that, turn it off. Turn it off. There we go. Probably the vehicle control add-on is sometimes causes vehicles to race, engine race, and it won't pull off with the equipment that's attached engaged. I have that issue a lot with this potato harvester, not so much with other stuff. This is actually a potato harvest, but no, sugar beet harvest we finished, I think last week, and we only had a tiny bit to do. We'd done most of that field, but the potato harvest was a little bit more tricky because apparently you can't pick up potatoes from the surface of the ground when it's raining, or when there's dew on the ground. So this got kind of delayed. It's also been a royal pain in the backside. As you can see, there's lots of sections that looked to be missed, but I cannot get the potato harvester to pick up what may or may not be there. So we're just going to collect what's on the surface now and call it good enough. Well, I think we've got over 300,000 litres of potatoes last I checked. Oh no, 260. So we've got over 200,000 litres of potatoes from this one small field. I think what I'm planning to do here, we're going to be cultivating that in within the next day or two and planting some rye. And I'm thinking of putting rye in this field too, but we're going to have to plough it because root crops need ploughed. And yeah. I'm trying to think where else. I may also put some canola in that field that you access from the lane up by Oak Glen Farm. We had barley and corn in that last year, or this year, but it's got a hedge between it and the rest of my field, so it's kind of out there and just not particularly easy to get to. Okay. Now this, again, we can demonstrate the maneuverability of this thing. Pull up alongside here, and then basically front wheels across that, and that potato harvester just rips round straight onto the row. So it's annoying, but it's definitely very agile. Okay, lift it, turn it off. Oh, we've got another bit of a row here, so. But for some reason the worker wouldn't do the stretch I'm on at the moment, in spite of the fact it was continuous with the bit it did here. So really not sure what's going on. I think for this size of farm, the potato equipment I have isn't particularly ideal, even with the amount of potatoes we're producing. I think the hauled harvester rather than the little sort of potato rower and pickup thing that I'm using here, they're good for really, really, really small farms. If you wanted to do potatoes on, say, something like Old Stream Farm, it would be brilliant. The fields are tiny. You don't want to spend a ton of money on expensive potato equipment. I mean, here you could almost justify having a self-propelled harvester. And maybe that's a thing. While I don't particularly like having to justify using a self-propelled harvester, it is better. How much does one cost? So you're talking 25,000, and then additional per hour. It has a horrible capacity, so you have to empty it frequently or dump the potatoes at the side of the field. And the reason why we have the row behind us is we're full again. Actually, why don't I just... We're close enough. Since we're here, they don't have to jump tractors. And the same's getting there with the sugar beet fields. The problem, there are crops that are a problem. The grapes and olives, cotton in 19. Your entry-level harvester is 500,000, and so there's no easy way to get into that crop without having a lot of money to spend. Potatoes and sugar beets have this smaller equipment, and while it's not the most ideal thing, it does let you get into the crop, and sugar beets and potatoes do make you a good amount of money per acre. Basically because you have to put so much time into them. But once you get to a certain threshold, you probably want to be considering that 500,000 for a harvester. And one of the things is because we have a need for sugar beets because we feed it to the sheep. It's probably more justifiable to buy a sugar beet harvester than it is to buy a potato harvester. So of course, once I've picked all these potatoes up, we will sell this piece of equipment as well. We'll keep the potato planter, but we won't plan on using it for now. And then I will put 2 fields worth of sugar beets up over where the Challenger's currently ploughing. So I'm going to plant that field with oilseed radish. I don't have time to do this one because we're going to be planting this pretty much tomorrow, which means there's no time to actually allow oilseed radish to grow, we're going to have to plough this field as well. So once the Challenger's done, I need this job finished so that we can let the Challenger loose on this field. Since we're ploughing, I would probably need to manually plough that edge so that it doesn't go wandering out into the oilseed. Actually, it really doesn't matter, actually. Yeah, yeah, thinking about it. There is a tendency for equipment in this field to wander into that one, and vehicles in that field to wander into this one. Which is a little bit annoying. However, because we're now going to have them on the same cycle, I'm not as concerned with, say, a cultivator in the field to our right running into this field while it's full of grass. That has been a problem in our past, but it's not going to be a problem if I plant them all with the same stuff. So these two fields plus the other one over the rise there will be rye next year. Our canola field from last year and our sugar beet field, I guess, will be sugar beets again. And that's not going to be a problem, I don't think. Missed a little patch of potatoes there, but really it's getting to the point now I'm not too fussed. Challenger's still ploughing, so that's good. This says it's only about 1.8 meters wide pickup area, but it seems to be doing okay. All things considered. It seems to be a little bit more forgiving than most. Oh. Helper A has completed. So Challenger's finished. Shame I can't direct a worker to bring it down here, so it's ready to go when we finish this. Lift, turn. Come on, go, 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 go. Yes. And not close to full yet. Oops. There we go. So yeah, pretty much getting bored with this. So we'll head up the field. I think we'll probably have to unload at least once before we collect the last of the potatoes. And I may